In a quaint coastal village, a humble fisherman lived with his wife in a small weathered cottage. Their days were simple and filled with the rhythm of the sea. Though they led a modest life, they were content with each other's company and their small catch of fish. One day, as the fisherman cast his net into the sea, he felt a strange tug. When he pulled it up, he was astonished to find a shimmering fish, unlike any he had ever seen. To his amazement, the fish spoke in a gentle, pleading voice. "Please let me go," it said. "I am an enchanted fish, and can grant you any wish you desire." The fisherman, surprised but kind-hearted, released the fish back into the sea without making a wish. As the fish swam away, it called out, "Thank you for your kindness. Should you change your mind, simply call my name, and I will come to you." The fisherman returned home and told his wife about the magical fish. His wife, though, was far from pleased with their humble life. She berated him for not asking for anything. "We could have had a better life," she exclaimed. The fisherman tried to explain his decision, but his wife's dissatisfaction lingered. As days went by, the fisherman's wife grew increasingly discontent with their modest home. She longed for luxury and comfort beyond their simple means. "You should go back to that fish and ask for something more," she insisted. Reluctantly, the fisherman returned to the sea and called out to the magical fish. The fish appeared and asked, "What is your wish?" The fisherman hesitated, but then said, "My wife would like a more comfortable home." The fish nodded and instructed him to return home. When the fisherman arrived back at his cottage, he found it transformed into a grand, luxurious house. The once small and weathered dwelling was now adorned with fine furniture, lush carpets, and elegant decorations. The wife was thrilled and basked in the newfound opulence, but her contentment was short-lived. The queen's ambition grew unchecked. She soon declared, "I want to be the empress of the world." The fisherman, troubled by his wife's insatiable greed, made the wish to the fish. The fish granted this request, and the queen's palace expanded into an empire. As empress, the wife ruled over vast lands and commanded armies. She had everything she could possibly want. But even this wasn't enough. She felt a void and longed for something even greater, always chasing after an elusive sense of fulfillment. The queen's ambition grew unchecked. She soon declared, "I want to be the empress of the world." The fisherman, troubled by his wife's insatiable greed, made the wish to the fish. The fish granted this request, and the queen's palace expanded into an empire. As empress, the wife ruled over vast lands and commanded armies. She had everything she could possibly want, but even this wasn't enough. She felt a void and longed for something even greater, always chasing after an elusive sense of fulfillment. The empress's hunger for power knew no bounds. She finally demanded, "I want to rule the sun and the moon." The fisherman, now deeply distressed, made the final wish to the fish. The fish, though hesitant, granted the wish. The empress ascended to the heavens, sitting upon a golden throne, commanding the celestial bodies. She controlled the day and night, but her new power brought her no true satisfaction. The more she had, the more she wanted, and her insatiable greed left her feeling emptier than before. Realizing that his wife's greed had no limits, and that their lives had become a constant pursuit of more, the fisherman returned to the sea one last time. He found the fish waiting for him and confessed his sorrow over his wife's endless demands. The fish, disappointed with the wife's ungratefulness and greed, decided to undo all their wishes. "You have learned the cost of greed," the fish said. With a wave of its fin, the magic was reversed. When the fisherman and his wife returned home, they found themselves back in their original modest cottage. All the grandeur and power they had enjoyed were gone. The opulent palace, the title of empress, and control over the heavens had vanished, leaving them with only their simple home. The wife, now humbled and realizing the consequences of her greed, lived out the rest of her days with a new understanding of contentment. They returned to their simple life by the sea, appreciating the modest joys they had once taken for granted. The story of the fisherman and his wife became a timeless lesson about the perils of ambition and the value of being grateful for what one has.